This YouTube channel that this video is currently on right now is not my first YouTube channel. In fact, it is my third YouTube channel. Now, to tell you about my first YouTube channel, we have to go back 10 years when I was in the 8th grade. At the time, channels like Smosh, Fred, and Ray William Johnson were the kings of YouTube. And well, we wanted to be just like them. So we started our channel called The Box. No, not this box, this box. Unfortunately, YouTube deleted our channel. I guess back then a copyright strike was a lot worse than it was now. If you used copyright music enough times, they would just completely wipe your channel goodbye. And just to top it off, we didn't have any of our videos saved except one video, the very last video that we made on the channel. Let me introduce you to a friend of mine, the co-host of the channel, Earl. Yeah, The Box, man. Tell me a little bit about what it was to you.
So in a way, it was our weekly web show, and with every episode, we kind of tried to do something different. That was kind of the thing. I think we had something like 12 episodes by the time we were done.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
But it was always just one a week, just trying to do something new, random, kind of sketch comedy influenced.
Yeah. So this was like early YouTube days, right? The closest thing we would describe it to is like early Smosh videos, where they were doing like weekly videos and getting feedback from their audience and creating new videos on that. That was kind of like what we were doing. I think for me, the cool thing about The Box is that it was the fundamental channel where I learned how to use After Effects. It was the point in time where I googled best editing program and After Effects came up. So actually the last video that got saved was the After Effects video where we were just kind of like showcasing all the effects that I learned in After Effects, and I think Earl dabbled in it a little bit as well.
Yeah, a little bit. It was mostly like you had a lot of really big ideas and you kind of wanted to see where you could take that software despite only really knowing it for like a month or two at that point. And yeah, it was just like random effects and kind of trippy, really like a trippy video vibe.
Yeah, it was very random and not planned out. It was just kind of like, what effect can we do next?
I mean, that was like most of The Box at that point though. Like,
totally.
It was just kind of what's on your mind now. We'll write it down, we'll make a list and see what we can do on our very limited budget. Literally like a construction lamp that you were like holding up and behind.
Like burning hot.
Yeah, you could only film for so long because it would get too hot and you'd like shut it off. And I mean, it was a lot of fun doing it. We just had fun making humorous videos for our friends, really.
Yeah, totally. That was the whole goal, was just to make videos for our friends.
Yeah. Overall, I feel like it taught me a lot about creative writing, in a sense, especially rapid creative writing, because again, we had just a random idea and it's like, let's take this, see what we can roll with.
Right.
But I think a big part of that was having a creative idea, figuring out how to write it, and then turn it into something that people can enjoy. Lately, just working on music for the most part.
Nice.
Yeah, it's my first kind of dabble in original songwriting just by myself.
Yeah.
I'm going to have my friend do drums on it.
Nice.
I have like 8 or 9 songs written so far. I'm just trying to get that recorded, figure out production. The whole pandemic's kind of made promoting a weird thing because you can't really perform it. Right now it's kind of got a pop, kind of blues influence.
Nice.
John Mayer's a really big inspiration to me.
Yeah, so I mean, it's cool that even maybe in like the littlest sense, what we were doing as kids has kind of maybe rooted into songwriting nowadays.
Right.
So that's pretty cool to hear.
My social media, I mostly use Instagram, so it's wheeler.earl.
If you guys want to see Earl's music, you can follow him on Instagram and keep up to date with his music. So that was my first YouTube channel. I would say it taught me the basics of shooting, editing, and uploading videos to the internet, and also how to avoid copyright strikes. Actually, about a year later, Earl and I both got an award in school for Comtech Student of the Month, which basically just means Computer Camera Nerd of the Month, and everyone gets to see it in the hallway. that was the thing. But anyways, this brings us to my second YouTube failure channel. This one starts in 2012 when I was in high school. Me and a friend, we wanted to make a YouTube channel, and at the time, video game commentaries were a thing. So we started out doing video game commentaries and montages, and then later we transitioned into doing more like comedy skits. This channel was called Project Premium. I have no idea where we got the name. I think we just thought it sounded cool and we rolled with it. This channel actually lasted over a year, but we didn't upload often.
Jordan,
What's up,
Chris,
man? What's up?
How's it going, boys?
Good, how are
Pretty
you,
good.
buddy?
Good to see you guys.
Good.
To see you, man. So Matt and I started a channel way back in high school. I just saw Matt as a guy who was really good at editing and video, and we just wanted to make some fun videos and see what we could do with it. It was kind of spontaneous.
Yeah, just
really.
having a good time with.
Yeah, so Chris was more of an actor in our videos.
Yeah, I can say it was part of the talent.
Third
Yeah,
party
he was the-
casted.
But low level talent. It was mostly their channel, but I just loved tagging along, kind of seeing everything that Matt was up to, just seeing where he was at with his skills back in the day. But
By the way, if you're interested in seeing a part 2 to the tea party, you should say in the comments below right now, and we could maybe set something up. You know what I mean?
splice in footage right here.
I love you guys. I learned that I was not meant for it. The YouTube life was not for me. I think I liked more being a part of your journey, because seeing where you kind of started and where you were taking it, like what you were doing with it, I think it was part of just cool just being a part of that.
Yeah, it was just really good to have a friend who was just like, yeah, let's just go with it. And he was really passionate about learning when it comes to editing and filming, and he just kind of went with it, and it was cool to be a part of that.
Yeah, I think that's like a big thing. If you actually want to do something, you have to stop thinking about doing it and actually just do it.
For sure.
And I think that was kind of like our mentality. Like, we didn't know what we were doing, but we wanted to take the camera and just try and come up with something.
I know myself, I was the biggest advocate for having a big idea, trying to paint a picture for Matt. Matt's like, okay, well, we'll try to put the pieces together. I basically just gave him the canvas and the idea, and then I'm trying to let Matt just paint the picture. But a lot of the times it would just fall off and be discontinued, because we usually abandon things. But I still think it was fun.
Oh, totally. Like, we just kind of like lost interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Like,
lost
we did
interest.
it for a bit. And we were like, oh, that was fun. Let's do something else now.
Yeah, I know that's one thing I was saying to you. I almost wish we had to finish them, or like followed through with them, just to see what they would have looked like, you know, instead of just like
See where it could have gone.
abandoning it. Yeah, like I wish, like I love even showing friends and family, like we go back and show those videos. Like I'll show those videos to my kids, right? Like it's going to be something funny to reminisce about, you know what I mean? And full disclosure, like we're OGs, like we've known Matt forever, so we're the real ones, you know what I mean? So
Before he blew up.
before he blew up, yes.
Before the Vine days.
I'm really glad that Matt like wanted to make like creative content back then. You know, he like kind of pushed me to, oh, just like act in this video. We're just gonna be silly. We're just gonna make up whatever we wanted to do. And like looking back, I'm really like happy that we did that. And that's like something that we have I can look back on, because it's not typically something that I would do. But
I just think like YouTube's a good platform for anybody just wanting to make something, to be creative, just to be yourself. Don't be afraid to fail. Like you can succeed. Like it's obvious. Like I don't think even because our YouTube channels fell off the face of the earth, I don't think, you know, like
Yeah, it wasn't
obviously
totally a failure.
it wasn't. It's a
stepping
piece. It's a piece of your puzzle.
it's a learning experience for sure.
Totally. So in conclusion, although these channels did not turn out the way that I hoped they would, they were stepping stones to something better. They taught me how to edit and tell stories. A few years later, this led me into doing Vine. I would say that the overarching lesson that I learned from these two channels is to just go out and create something. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best video on YouTube. If you want to create something, don't waste your time thinking about it. Just go and make it. Now, don't get me wrong, it's super important to plan out your videos, but at some point, you have to actually go and film your video. When it comes to YouTube, the only way to fail is to give up. It's just to stop trying, even if that means completely starting over. Because regardless of how many people are watching your videos, there's always something that you will get out of it. And of course, as Maddie says, learn, make, repeat. Try not to get stuck on the third step. My name is Matthew Paquette, and this was the story of my YouTube failures. Do you guys want to do some beatboxing?
Yeah,
Are you
I knew that
down?
was coming.
Are you down?
I knew
Yeah,
that was
we can
down.
do it.
Do you?
Yeah, sure.